Welcome to The Big Idea. I'm your host, Faith Lark. Today, on The Big Idea, what if the very ideas meant to liberate us, to propel us into a glorious future, could instead lead to our unraveling? Today, we explore the life of Nick Land, a philosopher who dared to dance on the edge of thought, and whose story forces us to confront a terrifying question. How much is too much when it comes to the pursuit of knowledge, and what happens when the answers consume you? In a smoke-filled room in Shanghai, fingers dance across a vintage keyboard, while civilization crumbles in the mind of Nick Land. The acrid smell of burnt electronics mingles with cheap cigarettes as distorted electronic music bleeds from his headphones. His eyes, wild and unfocused, scan lines of text that blur between philosophy and madness. This isn't where the story begins, but it's where you might end up when brilliant ideas consume you whole. You've felt it before. That electric moment when an idea grips you so completely, it seems to vibrate through your bones. For Nick Land, those moments defined his early career at Warwick University in the late 1980s. Students packed lecture halls to witness something unprecedented, a philosopher who didn't just teach ideas but embodied them. He would lie on the floor, microphone in hand, voice rising and falling, as he painted visions of a future where technology and humanity merged into something entirely new. The students leaned forward in their seats, captivated. You could see it in their eyes, the same hunger for understanding that drove Land himself. But understanding, as you'll learn, comes with a price. Every revolutionary starts as an outsider. Picture a young Nick Land, surrounded not by friends but by towers of science fiction novels and dismantled electronics. The whirring of machines was his lullaby, the glow of screens his companion. Sound familiar? Perhaps you too have felt that pull towards solitude, where ideas flow more freely than small talk. His childhood bedroom wasn't just a space, it was an incubator for radical thought. While other kids played football, he explored cybernetics and chaos theory. This wasn't mere teenage rebellion, it was the foundation of something far more profound and dangerous. Success came quickly at Warwick. Land's ideas about accelerationism, the notion that technological progress should be intensified even if it dismantles human society, earned him acclaim. But beneath the surface, something was shifting. His colleagues noticed it first. The way his theories began pushing beyond acceptable boundaries, how casual conversations about technology's future turned into feverish monologues about humanity's obsolescence. You might recognize this pattern in your own life. When does passionate pursuit become obsession? When does innovative thinking cross the line into dangerous territory? For Land, these weren't abstract questions but the first tremors of an approaching earthquake. Enter the Cybernetic Culture Research Unit, CCRU, Land's brainchild at Warwick. Picture late-night gatherings where philosophy melded with rave culture, where academic papers read like science fiction manifestos. The air crackled with possibility as students and faculty pushed the boundaries of thought itself. They weren't just studying the future, they were trying to summon it. But brilliance has a shadow side. Land's ideas grew more extreme, more consuming. His concept of hyperstition, the notion that fictional ideas could manifest themselves into reality, became more than theory. It became his lived experience. You might understand this. When your ideas start living in your bones, sleeping becomes optional, and reality's edges begin to blur. The university administration watched with growing concern as Land's lectures became more erratic. Students still came, drawn by the magnetic pull of his intellect, but something was unraveling. The line between genius and madness grew thinner with each passing day. If you're enjoying The Big Idea, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, Mental Models Mastery. Learn to make better decisions and think like Einstein, Da Vinci, and Socrates. Now back to the episode. The publication of Meltdown marked the point of no return. This wasn't just another academic paper, it was Land's manifesto for the future, a vision of humanity dissolving into a technological singularity. The text pulsed with a feverish intensity that both attracted and repelled readers. Some saw it as brilliant, others recognized it as a cry for help. Have you ever stood at the edge of your own personal abyss? Land wasn't just standing there, he was diving in headfirst. The signs were impossible to ignore. Sleepless nights, drug use, increasingly paranoid theories about technology and control. Land's colleagues watched helplessly as one of philosophy's brightest minds began to fracture. His teaching became more confrontational, his ideas veering toward the extreme right. The same intensity that had once illuminated new possibilities now cast shadows of doubt and fear. This is where you should pay attention. The line between passionate pursuit and self-destruction isn't always clear until you've crossed it. By 1998, the pressure became unbearable. Land resigned from Warwick, eventually finding his way to Shanghai. But ideas, once released, take on a life of their own. His concepts of accelerationism and technological inevitability continue to influence both left and right-wing thought. His work echoes through contemporary debates about artificial intelligence, capitalism, and humanity's future. What makes Land's story relevant to you isn't just its cautionary elements, it's the mirror it holds up to our own relationship with ideas and technology. How many of us are dancing on the edge of obsession? How many brilliant minds are one step away from their own personal meltdown? Today, in that smoke-filled room in Shanghai, Land continues to write, his influence reaching far beyond academia. His ideas have shaped discussions about technology and society, even as they've led him down darker paths. The question isn't whether he was right or wrong. The question is what we can learn from his journey. Here's your task. Look at your own passionate pursuits. What drives you? Where's your line between innovation and obsession? Land's story teaches us that brilliance without boundaries can become a form of self-destruction. The real challenge isn't pushing limits, it's knowing which limits keep us human. Remember, the future isn't just coming, it's being shaped by every choice you make. Choose wisely. The abyss of brilliant ideas is always hungry for another mind to consume. On the next episode of The Big Idea. So after diving into the chaotic mind of Nick Land and his unsettling visions of a technologically driven future, you might be left wondering, what does it truly mean to be in this increasingly complex world? Can we even define existence when the lines between human and machine blur? This week, we're confronting the meaninglessness of existence head-on, and our next stop takes us to the heart of 20th century philosophy. Imagine a thinker wrestling with the very essence of being, grappling with authenticity in a world demanding conformity, and forever leaving his mark. But what happens when that brilliant mind becomes entangled with a dark ideology? Prepare to confront uncomfortable truths, because this is a story you absolutely won't want to miss. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code, or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, Mental Models Mastery. 7 mental models used by humanity's greatest minds. Think clearer, decide faster, and spot opportunities everyone misses. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/bi. Thanks for watching.